guys, it's June the 17th, 2024, and today I want to talk about alcohol and weight gain and the correlation between the two. Before I hop into today's video, I just want to say thank you to everybody that, with all the Father's Day wishes in yesterday's video. I have yet to respond to the comments from yesterday. It's just been one of those mornings today, but anyway, at the beginning of today's video, or either at the end, either one, I'm going to add some pictures of myself. I spent a whole bunch of time this morning going through some old pictures. Man, I've got a bunch, thousands of pictures. And it was quite a challenge trying to find pictures of myself that don't have like other people in them, that were just me. Of course, I'm going through my Google Images. So, having pictures of myself on my Google Images, there just weren't a lot of them to begin with because I didn't take a lot of pictures of myself. There were some pictures that I guess I'd handed my phone to other people to take a picture of me. And then on top of it, I had to find pictures where there weren't, my family in the picture. Just, it was pretty hard going through all these pictures and finding some pictures of myself where I was alone. And that actually showed like my body, because I did have a lot of like pictures of just like my head. I took pictures of like me standing beside some big cake I made or something like that. But it was just like up here, and I wanted to make sure that I found pictures of like my whole body just so you could see how big that I used to actually be. Like I'm 5'9", and I weigh 140 pounds now. Before I got sick, I weighed 250 pounds. I was a really big guy. Right before I got sick, I had started losing weight. I guess probably about 9 months before I got really sick, I started losing weight, and I wasn't doing anything different. I just started losing weight, and I'd actually told my wife I'm worried that I might have diabetes, because I knew that, that's one of the key indicators, of becoming a diabetic, of, weight loss without doing anything different. And I just started losing weight. But before I started losing weight and, before I got sick, I think I was wearing like a size 42 waist pants. I mean, I was a big guy, and the size 42 waist was like tight on me. I'm not exactly sure what my waist size is now, but I have some pants that are like size 28 and they're loose, if that gives you any idea. I'm rather skinny now, and there's a lot more to do with me losing all the weight that I have. It's not just the fact that I quit drinking. I do have diabetes, so I have to watch my carb intake. And I do have a lot of pancreatic problems. And with the liver disease, you just don't have much of an appetite. I get nauseous a lot. So there are a lot of things that play into my weight now. But at the same time, I don't drink alcohol anymore. And I'm sure that has played a huge role in me losing the amount of weight that I have. Because when I first got sick, I think I weighed somewhere in the range, like 220, somewhere around there when I first got sick. And, from 220 down to 140 from that point forward. Now, I was actually even skinnier than I am now. I got down to about 120 pounds at one point, and I was very ill during that period of time. And my weight fluctuated too, especially when I would get ascites. I went from 120 pounds to 180 pounds one time with the ascites. If that tells you anything. I had 60 pounds of fluid in my belly. I don't know, it wasn't all distributed in my stomach. I mean, I had weight in my thighs, and there was just water all over my body. But my weight has fluctuated throughout this, throughout my illness. There were points where I was 120. There were points when, like I said, I got all the way up to 180. And that happened really fast, too. We're talking about a matter of just a couple weeks. I had just gotten out of the hospital. I was 120 pounds. Came home, started picking up water weight, and before I knew it, I was all the way back up to 180 pounds. And that was at a doctor's office I got weighed. So I wasn't using a home scale. This was precise weight from the ascites. So I mean, that tells you how much fluid that you can take on with the ascites. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. Today we're talking about alcohol and weight gain, and why alcohol impacts our weight. Because I didn't eat that much back then. I tasted a lot of food, but I just didn't sit down and eat a lot of big meals. I probably ate once a day, and throughout my youth, I was always really thin until my alcoholism just got out of control, and then I really started picking up weight really quick. Alcohol is nothing but empty calories, basically, and I'm gonna go ahead and go into it today and talk about this and why we pick up weight when we're drinking. So I just got a couple articles here, talking about this subject. So, how alcohol affects your weight loss. Alcohol is often empty calories. Alcoholic drinks are often referred to as empty calories. This means that they provide your body with calories but contain little nutrients. There are almost 155 calories in one 12-ounce can of beer and 125 calories in a 5-ounce glass of red wine. By comparison, a recommended afternoon snack should be between 150 and 200 calories. A night out with several drinks can lead to consuming a few hundred extra calories. Drinks that have mixers, such as fruit juice or soda, contain even more calories. And I used to drink, when I drank vodka, I would either mix in Sprite, 7-Up, or either cranberry juice majority of the time. And I didn't use anything with, like zero sugar or anything like that. I drank regular soda with it, or regular cranberry juice with mine. Now, I didn't pour a lot of mixer in there, but I was still just pouring calories into my drinks, and I drank a lot. I tried to calculate it one time, and I think I was drinking like 2,000 calories just in alcohol a day, with the mixer and everything included. But 2,000 calories, just empty calories for no reason. Alcohol is used as a primary source of fuel. There are also other elements that cause weight gain outside of calorie content. When alcohol is consumed, it's burned first, and I've talked about this before, as a fuel source before your body uses anything else. This includes glucose from carbohydrates or lipids from fats. When your body is using alcohol as a primary source of energy, the excess glucose and lipids end up, unfortunately for us, as adipose tissue or fat. Alcohol can affect your organs. The primary role of your liver is to act as the filter for any foreign substances that enter your body, such as drugs and alcohol. The liver also plays a role in the metabolism of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. Excess alcohol consumption can lead to what is known as alcoholic fatty liver. The condition can damage your liver, affecting the way your body metabolizes and stores carbohydrates and fats. Changes in the way our body stores energy from food can make it more difficult to lose weight. Alcohol can contribute to excess belly fat. The beer gut isn't just a myth. And you guys know, for anybody, if you know somebody that drinks excessively, if you drink excessively, you might have noticed that you have a bigger belly. And I used to have a really big belly. Foods high in simple sugars, such as those found in candy, soda, and even beer, are also high in calories. Extra calories end up stored as fat in the body. Consuming foods and drinks high in sugar can quickly lead to weight gain. We can't choose where all that extra weight ends up, but the body tends to accumulate fat in the abdominal area. Not to mention, our liver starts to swell the more we drink, the longer period that we drink. And I've talked about this a bunch of times. But I used to be able to lay in the bed, and I could push on my liver, and it was swollen. I could feel the difference between both sides. The right side, if I laid down in the bed and pushed, the left side, I could push in. I could actually push in underneath my ribs. I could not do the same on the right-hand side. My liver was definitely distended, and it was hard, really hard, rock hard. And I could not get my hand up underneath my rib cage. It was so swollen, which will make your body or your abdomen look more distended as well. Alcohol affects judgment calls, especially with food. Even the most die-hard diet fan will have a hard time fighting the urge to dig in when intoxicated. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about here. Alcohol lowers inhibitions and can lead to our poor decision-making in the heat of the moment, especially when it comes to food choices. And not only do we make poor decisions with food choices, but we just make poor decisions in general when we're intoxicated. I mean, think of all the crazy things that you've done and woke up the next morning and went, why in the world did I do that? Or somebody calls you and tells you, hey, do you remember doing this last night? I can think back so many times of getting intoxicated and then ending up at like a Waffle House at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sorry, but that food is not good for you. There's this thing on the Waffle House menu. For any of you guys that live near a Waffle House, they have this stuff called birch chili. And I will guarantee you anybody that's ever sober that walks into a Waffle House does not order birch chili. But anytime that I would go to the Waffle House, I was always drunk. I don't even know if I've ever been in a Waffle House when I've been sober, to be honest with you guys. The thing with Waffle House is it's like a diner that's open 24/7 for any of you guys don't have one around you. And they do like, breakfast items, hamburgers, sandwiches, eggs, pancakes, waffles, all that kind of stuff. But they've got the chili that they keep hot in a soup crock. And when you go to Waffle House, especially that late at night, there's a lot of people in there. And usually everybody that's in there is intoxicated in some way or another. And it can take a while for your food to get to you. And I would get so drunk to the point where I was like starving by the time that we get, I didn't feel well. I needed something in my stomach, and anytime I went to the Waffle House, I would just order a bowl of the chili because I knew that if I ordered chili, they would bring it right to the table, and I could start eating something. And eating that chili that night was always a disaster the next day. Excuse me. And I'm sure you guys can catch my drift on what I mean, but it was just not a good situation the next day. My stomach would be so messed up from eating that stuff. But, back to what I'm talking about here. The poor decisions that we make when we're intoxicated, going into the kitchen at 2 o'clock in the morning and making, 5 microwaved hot dogs with cheese on them and, whatever else that you can come up with and slap on there, just to get something in your stomach. We just don't eat healthy when we're drunk. However, the effects of alcohol surpass even social drinking etiquette. A recent animal study found that mice given ethanol over a period of 3 days demonstrated a significant increase in food intake. This study suggests that alcohol can actually trigger hunger signals in the brain, leading to an increased urge to eat more food. Alcohol and sex hormones. It's long been known that alcohol intake can affect the level of hormones in the body, especially in testosterone. Testosterone is a sex hormone that plays a role in many metabolic processes, including muscle formation and fat-burning capabilities. One study found that low testosterone levels may predict the prevalence of metabolic syndrome in men. Metabolic syndrome is characterized by high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high blood sugar levels, high body mass index. I had all 4 of those when I was a drinker. Plus, lower testosterone levels may affect quality of sleep, especially in older men. And for any of you guys who are drinkers as well or did drink, whatever, you know how bad alcohol affects your sleep. Yeah, it knocks us out. We go right to bed. You pass out. But then you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, extremely hungover, extremely thirsty, and then you can't sleep well after that. Alcohol can negatively affect our sleep. A nightcap before bed may sound like a ticket to a good night's rest, but you may want to reconsider. Back to talking about sleep again. Research suggests that alcohol can lead to increased periods of wakefulness during sleep cycles. Sleep deprivation, whether from lack of sleep or impaired sleep, can lead to an imbalance in the hormones related to hunger, satiety, and energy storage. Alcohol affects digestion and nutrient uptake. Your social anxiety isn't the only thing that alcohol inhibits. Intake of alcoholic beverages can also inhibit proper digestive function. Alcohol can cause stress on the stomach and the intestines. This leads to decreased digestive secretions and the movement of food throughout the tract. Digestive secretions are an essential element of healthy digestion. They break down food into basic macro and micronutrients that are absorbed and used by the body. Alcohol intake of all levels can lead to impaired digestion and absorption of these nutrients. This can greatly affect the metabolism of organs that play a role in weight management. And then it goes on to start talking about different kinds of alcohol to drink for weight loss, and we're definitely not going to talk about that today. The bottom line, while cutting alcohol completely out of your diet isn't necessarily the only way to lose weight, there are many improvements can be made in your health journey by simply cutting back the booze. And blah, blah, blah. They're just talking about, weight loss and changing your diet here. There's another article here too I wanted to read and go over. Now my internet's not wanting to reach out here. All right, I'm back. So here's that other article I wanted to go over. Why does alcohol stop fat burning? Alcohol is calorie dense, much more than nutritious proteins, grains, and dairy, making it a more attractive energy source for the body. Like a kid who's allowed to eat dessert before dinner, the body wants to process all of alcohol in the system before it even touches the Brussels sprouts and salmon that are also waiting to be digested. The alcohol must be fully eliminated before your body starts to break down any of the other energy sources. This is very interesting stuff right here. Explains Bay Area Board Certified Holistic Nutritionist Jasmine France. Once that's finished, the body will slowly work its way through sugar and simple carbohydrates before finally beginning to burn fat. While the body is attracted to the high-calorie content of beer, wine, and spirits, it's a love-hate relationship. Your body considers ethanol, the organic compound produced during fermentation, a toxin or waste product, says France. It will shut down all other metabolic pathways until the alcohol is out of your system. Working through that ethanol can take up to 36 hours. That's a full day and a half that won't contain a bit of fat burning. That's a lot. The blood sugar conundrum. And this is one that I knew about and I found very interesting because I think I had been diabetic for quite some time. And I felt horrible because my blood sugar would be so high. And when I would drink, the alcohol would decrease my blood sugar, which would make me feel better. And I think this is one of those like catch-22s I was caught in. I didn't know I was diabetic. I was drinking to decrease my blood sugar to feel better. And now that I know exactly how I feel with high blood sugar, that's how I was feeling back then. Anytime my blood sugar has gotten high, it feels exactly how I used to feel during the day back then. And I would drink and I would start to feel better. My blood sugar would start to come down, and I know what it feels like when my blood sugar is at the right level now. It makes so much sense to me. So the blood sugar conundrum. As alcohol wreaks havoc on your metabolism, it launches a second assault to sabotage weight loss. The more you drink, the more your brain and body desire more food. Counterintuitively, drinking alcohol, which is high in sugar, causes the body's blood sugar levels to drop, says France, a condition called reactive hypoglycemia. As part of the body's effort to rebalance blood sugar, appetite increases. Alcohol often leads to cravings for food that will increase your blood sugar quickly, like low-fiber starches, she continues. The dehydration and electrolyte imbalance also caused by drinking especially increases cravings for salty foods like French fries. And of course, the more food you consume, especially with limited nutritional value, the more calories there are for your body to work through before getting back to fat burning. Although drinking in moderation, that 1 to 2 drinks per day recommended by the CDC, isn't likely to increase cravings significantly, it can't stop the body's metabolic pathways from going a little haywire. The less you drink, though, the easier it is for your body to get back to the fat burning mode. So that right there, I mean, it just basically, just those points. I mean, it's telling us that, alcohol significantly impairs our body's ability to metabolize, fats, carbohydrates, because our body wants to break down the alcohol first. It's going to do that before it does anything else. And like that article said, 36 hours before it'll start digesting anything else. So it's going to rid your body of all the alcohol before it starts to break down anything else that's in your body. So think about you went out the night before, let's say you had 10 liquor drinks. Let's say it's 1,000 calories, just for instance. It's probably more than that. And then after you went out and drank those 10 liquor drinks, you went to your local 24-hour diner and had a big plate of cheese fries that was 1,500 calories. Your body is going to do everything it can to break down that alcohol first. And then it's going to start breaking down that big plate of cheese fries you ate the night before. So all that stuff's going to be sitting in your body. It's not going to get absorbed. You're not going to get your nutrients. You're going to feel lethargic. You're just going to feel like trash for a few days because of the havoc that the alcohol wreaks on our metabolic system in our bodies. So by quitting alcohol, you're almost guaranteed to lose weight. I mean, it's right there for you. And you know, any of you guys are interested, just go out there and do the research yourself. And I'm sure pretty much everybody is aware that increased alcohol intake leads to weight gain. I mean, it's just part of it. They don't call it a beer gut for nothing. And I had a beer gut for years. I was extremely overweight. And I felt bad about myself all the time. I did not like taking pictures of myself. I didn't like people taking pictures of me because I was so overweight. I was embarrassed. And it's not like I was sitting around eating donuts all day long. That's not what I did. It all came from my alcohol intake, basically. I mean, my wife would tell you, I did not eat that much food. And when I did eat, it would be often in the middle of the night. I would go all day without eating anything. And then I would wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then who knows what I would eat. Often I was blacked out. I don't even remember what I would do. I would just leave food laying out all over the place. But what I did eat, I wasn't making any kind of decision what I put in my mouth. I just shoved food in there because I was hungry. And who knows how many calories I would eat when I would. And then I would go lay back down. My body was not breaking any of that food down. And then no wonder I was so overweight. But the point is that by reducing and or best thing, just quitting alcohol in general is going to help you lose weight. And, you know, for any of you guys that, you know, you're looking at that belly, you know, your pants aren't fitting right, by quitting alcohol, it's going to really help you lose that weight. And for any of you guys out there who have stopped, I'm sure that you have noticed that you have lost weight and you didn't have to really do much other than just stop drinking, because it's just empty calories that are pouring into our bodies when we drink. So alcohol affects just, it's such a negative effect on our body, just in general. I mean, and I talk about this all the time. I mean, all the problems that it causes with our organs, I mean, just, and then weight gain and just blah, 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 and the diseases it causes. There are so many reasons to stop drinking, and here's another one right here. By stopping alcohol intake or stopping drinking, you can really, you know, help yourself lose some weight, and you don't even really have to do a heck of a whole lot. And you know, another thing too is that when we're drinking, you know, you wake up, you're hungover the next day. Most of the time we're not going to get up and exercise if we feel bad, because it's hard. You just feel horrible. And you know, even if you do have a nice exercise regimen that you're on, you know, you go out that Friday night and you wake up Saturday morning, you're probably going to skip that workout, and you're not going to keep up with your regimen. And you know, you skip once, and you know, you drink that Saturday night because you still feel bad. Well, you're probably not going to work out Sunday, and then you drink Sunday night, where you're probably not going to work out Monday, and the next thing you know, it's a whole week's lapsed and you haven't worked out again. I know. I used to work out really hard in my 20s, and that's how it started with me, because I was really in shape, and I would get intoxicated and then skip the next day, and then I skipped again because I'd hear the dog, and this cycle, it starts, and then next thing you know, a year's passed, we've gained 30 pounds, and we're wondering how we gained all that weight. Alcohol just affects so many different aspects of our lives. Not only does it affect our body, but just like I said, it affects our exercise regimen, just everything. It's just horrible, and it just really negatively impacts our lives. So anyway, just want to talk about another reason why to be sober today. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Love you guys so much. Bye-bye.